Hey, what's going on? Aaron Chen here. Hope you're doing well. Just wanted to talk a little bit about traffic today, right? If you're online and you're generating, any type of leads to your business, then this might be an interesting video for you, right? So over the last, 9 years that I've been online, a big part of that time was me on buying solo traffic, basically, right? And I found, and it took me a really long time to figure out what I was doing wrong in my business. And if you've bought any sort of solo traffic before, then you probably know what I'm alluding to, right? But basically, solo traffic is probably one of the worst types of traffic that you can get out there. I've spent over, I would say, over $20,000 easy on solo ads, right? $20,000. I mean, very few people can spend that much money on solo traffic, right? But yeah, I've done that, okay? And I can say, hand on heart, that for me, it didn't work at all. I generated lots of traffic. I've had 500 lead days. But those 500 leads don't really convert to sales, right? I mean, what's the point of having 20,000 leads in your Aweber account or GetResponse account if you can't even convert them or create a positive ROI, right? That's the most important thing, return on investment, okay? And if you have 20,000 leads, but those leads aren't opening your emails and they're not listening to you, then what is the point of having them in your autoresponder? Absolutely none, right? And the problem with solo ads is that everybody talks about it. Whenever you get a training course, or you're talking to some guru on a webinar or whatever, all they talk about is solo ads, right? They say, go to this solo ad seller, go to that solo ad seller, buy the solo ads, and that's what people do. And people do it because it's so easy, right? You don't actually have to generate any leads yourself. All you have to do is go to a solo ad seller. You tell them how many clicks you want. Maybe you want 1,000 clicks, and maybe they charge you $800 or $1,000 for those clicks, right? And then you buy it. Sometimes a lot of these guys even set it up for you. You don't even have to do it yourself. They'll set up your capture page. You give them your code. They'll generate the traffic for you, and then you get amazing opt-ins, right? Your opt-ins might be like 50% or 40%, and you're like, oh my god, I just generated 800 leads, or I just generated 500 leads, I'm gonna be rich, right? That's what you're thinking, because that's basically what happens. That's exactly what happens when you buy solo ads, right? It's really misleading. And then people, they'll give feedback to the solo ad seller. They'll be like, oh, this solo ad seller was amazing, I got 50% opt-ins, I've never seen those kind of opt-ins before. And then what happens? Nothing happens. That's the thing. Nothing happens. And then you don't generate a sale, or maybe you get lucky and you generate one sale. But the problem is that in your sales funnel, the sale might be $50 or $100. So you make, let's just say $100, right? You make $100, but that solo ad costed you $800. So how much money did you make? Well, none. Actually, you're down $700, right? But here's what happens. So after that, you say, okay, well, maybe there's something wrong with that solo ad, right? And there very well could be something wrong with that solo ad. Maybe it's not the right solo ad vendor for your offer, right? Or maybe you're thinking, okay, maybe there was something wrong with my capture page. Maybe I could have generated a higher conversion rate. Maybe 50% wasn't enough. Maybe if I got more leads, 60 or 70%, then I would have made more sales, right? Or you might be thinking, maybe I didn't follow up with my leads enough, I didn't build a relationship with them, so maybe that's why they didn't buy, right? Or maybe your sales funnel wasn't that good to begin with, and maybe that's why you didn't convert people. So look, there's so many reasons why a solo ad drop didn't work. Another reason could be that solo ad seller was selling you fake clicks. Have you ever thought of that? Probably not, right? Because nobody ever told you that most of the solo ad sellers out there on internet land are selling junk. A lot of them are actually, I hate saying this word because I just hate saying it, but some of them could be scammers, right? Some of them are actually not selling real traffic, okay? Now, don't get me wrong, there are solo ad sellers out there that are selling real clicks, right? real people, and the solo ad, the solo traffic is quite good, right? But for the most part, I would say 80% of them or more are just selling you junk, right? A lot of them are bot clicks. So that's why it looks like a lot of them are opting in, because yeah, there is somebody opting in. It's just not a real human being, it's a robot, okay? And they click on it, they opt in, and nothing ever happens because the people that opt in are not real people, okay? So you're not following up with anyone. You're following up with a robot that's not going to buy your stuff, unfortunately, right? And that's just kind of the reality with solo ads, okay? And so this is basically what happened to me over the last, I would say, 7 or 8 years, okay? I just kept going back to solo ads. I kept spending a lot of money on it because I thought, oh, hey, if all these gurus and all these coaches are talking about solo ads, then it's probably just me, or I'm not following up well enough with my leads, or I gotta get my capture paid conversion rates up, or there's something wrong with my sales funnel, right? I never actually thought that there was anything wrong with the traffic source, okay? And so I proceeded to spend lots and lots of money. Sorry, I just gotta pay for this toll. I've spent over 20 grand easy on solo ads. I mean, that's a lot of money, over 7 years or so, right? And I kept falling into that trap, and a lot of people fall into that trap because it's easy, right? And you can get a lot of traffic fast, and people talk about it all the time, and honestly, it's so easy to buy solo traffic. Literally, I could throw a stone and I would hit like 5 solo ad sellers, okay? Virtually, I'll throw my virtual stone and I'll hit 5 solo ad sellers, and they all hang out on Facebook, and I can rattle off like 20 names for you if you want it today. They're even all these, they make it very easy, right? There's even solo ad marketplaces, like what's it called? I can't even remember the name now. But there are a couple of big ones, right, where you can just sort of go on there and you can buy solo. If you have money today, you can buy it tomorrow, right? The other problem with solo ads is that because you can buy fairly big packages, what tends to happen, and this is what happened to me, and maybe you can relate if you've ever bought solo ads before, right, is that you can spend $1,000 or $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 on solo traffic. You can buy all the solo ads, get a shitload of traffic in one go, and then you don't do anything for the rest of the month. That's actually what happens to a lot of people. That's what I did, right? I would spend $1,000 on solo ads, and in my country, because I'm from Malaysia, right, $1,000 is 4,500 ringgit in my currency. Now, 4,500 ringgit, most people don't even make that kind of money here, okay? You need to be working for probably at least 3, 4, 5 years before you're even earning 4,500 ringgit, okay? Most people don't earn that kind of money. So, for me to spend 1,000 ringgit on or $1,000 on solo ads, it's a lot of money for me, especially, right? Let alone people that live in the US or different parts of the world. That's a lot of money, right? So I would save up. I would do a solo ad drop for $1,000, and then I can't do anything for the rest of the month because my ad budget is all gone, right? And then what I would do is I would wait. I would follow up with my leads and stuff like that. It wouldn't work, and I'd be like, I don't know what's going on. And then I would do the same thing the next month, and I would do the same thing the month after, and the month after, and the month after, and it's just kind of a vicious cycle, right? And it took me a really, really long time to realize that actually it's not my fault, it's the solo ad traffic's fault, okay? Or it is a little bit my fault because I couldn't figure out how to make solo traffic work. Right now, don't get me wrong, there are people out there that have figured it out, but I just couldn't figure it out, right? And I'm not the only one. I know a lot of people, a lot of internet marketers who are very successful now who couldn't figure solo traffic out because there's just so many problems with it, okay? Now, if you can figure it out, that's great, but the whole point of this video was I just for whoever is watching this, right, and if that's you right now, and I'm sorry for this shaky camera because my camera holder is not very good in the car. It just shakes the phone. If you're struggling with generating traffic and you've been buying solo ads for a few months or maybe even a few years now, I would recommend that you stop. You just stop and start generating real traffic. You got to go out there and generate your own traffic, okay? and when I say your own traffic, you have to literally, you know, don't go to some link and buy it and then give you a link and then all of a sudden you have 500 leads in your inbox. You know, these people don't even know who you are, and for the most part, you know, it's probably not even real traffic anyway. You've got to go to places like YouTube and Facebook and Google, where you're actually, you know, marketing and you're actually doing something. You're doing a few different actions to actually generate that traffic, right? And the reason why that's so much better is because you actually own the traffic and you actually know what you're doing in order to get that person to opt into your page. And that type of traffic is much more high quality than solo traffic, hands down. Okay, hands down. The other problem with solo traffic, and I'm just hating, you know, I'm slamming on solo traffic right now. Because I spend so much money on it and I wasted so much of my time on solo traffic, and that's kind of why I really don't like it. And when you spend $20,000 in solo traffic, then you can come to, you know, you can come back to me and tell me, you know, that I'm wrong, okay? But this is just my personal experience. You know, maybe you'll have different experience, but I just wanted to share that with you because I don't want people to go through, you know, $20,000 worth of solo ads and then not make any money and then quit, you know, end up quitting, right? I'm gonna save you all that trouble. And I'm gonna tell you that you need to go out there and learn how to generate your own traffic. Okay, Facebook, YouTube, Google, LinkedIn, you know, SEO, article marketing, blogging, whatever it is. Go out there and generate your own traffic. Don't just buy traffic and give someone a link and expect it to convert, because it doesn't work that way. Remember, the other thing, I was gonna say this earlier, is that the other thing about solo traffic is that these leads, these solo ads, have been slammed on. Okay, like, I mean, think about how many solo ad drops every single solo ad vendor sells to their list. You know, tens, you know, like they've probably seen the same offer, you know, 100 times, right? Because what happens is when somebody sells a solo ad, they email their list an offer, you know, your offer, and if you're marketing a very popular offer, and there are lots of very popular offers, you know, in the affiliate world, they've seen your offer like 10 times already. Do you think they're gonna buy from you? Probably not, because what makes you different from the 9 other marketers that were promoting, you know, Empower Network or you know, Aspire or whatever it is, right? There's so many different, you know, big affiliate opportunities out there right now, yeah? So if you don't stand out and, you know, every single solo ad drop is a sale, then they're not gonna buy. And that's why a lot of solo leads don't buy. And it took me a really long time to figure that out. And I really thought I could, and I just couldn't, okay? So if you get anything from this video today, is that you should avoid solo ads and figure out some other traffic source, okay? Once you've figured out another traffic source like YouTube or Facebook or SEO, you know, or Google or whatever type of pay-per-click, you know, there are lots of different pay-per-click platforms out there. 7Search is one, right? Google is one, if you can figure out how to get on Google. But figure out one main traffic source out first, aside from solo ads. Make lots of money, get profitable from that, and then once you do, if you want to try solo ads, then go and try it out. Don't make the mistake that I did and start on solo ads and then become some solo ad expert where you can generate a lot of leads, but you can't convert any of those leads into sales, right? Or you can't get a positive ROI. You know, what you know, ask yourself, what game are we in? Are we in the game of generating leads, or are we in the game of making money? I don't know about you, but I'm in the game of making money, not leads, right? I could care less about how many leads I had. If I had, you know, 20 leads, but I could make, you know, $5,000 a day with those, $5,000 a month with those 20 leads, I would much rather have that kind of business than a business where I've got 50,000 leads in my autoresponder, but only, you know, 2% of them open up my emails. That's ridiculous. That's how internet marketers go broke, right? So anyway, I'm done with my rant. I'm gonna get off my soapbox, but I hope that you know, helped you a little bit and helped you to kind of understand you know, the landscape of traffic you know, in internet marketing, because you know, I've rarely come across, I've probably come across one video like this where they kind of spoke about solo ads like this, right? So not that many people are talking about it, and a lot of people are getting, I think personally, cheated, you know, and I don't want you to get cheated out of your hard-earned money, okay? So go out there, figure out another traffic source. I like YouTube because YouTube is quality, right? You're making videos like this. you're giving people value. People find your videos based on certain keywords, and if they like your video, they can click on the link below. You can leave a link below your videos, right? And it leads to your traffic, it leads to your capture page, and if they want, they can opt in. And you know, that's how you create quality traffic, right? Remember that the people that are watching your videos on YouTube, they already know who you are before they opt in. That's the beauty of websites like YouTube, right? They see your video, they consume your content, and then they're like, okay, this Aaron guy or this David guy is pretty cool. I kind of, you know, what he said makes sense, and I want to find out more, right? So then they opt into your page, and then they see your stuff. So before they even opt in, they've got a feel for what you're like, right? The problem with solo ads is they have no idea who you are, right? All they see is a link in an email. They click on it. It probably says something like, want to learn how to generate $500 today? Click here. They click on it. They see your capture page. It says the same thing. They put the email address inside, and all of them, bam, it's a sales message. I mean, who's gonna buy? You know, who in their right mind would buy something like that? There are a few people that would buy, and they're called hyper buyers, right? But that's few and far between. There are very, very few people that are like that, right, in the world that would buy like that. So for the most part, you're gonna get normal people who are not gonna buy your stuff, and then, you know, you're out of, you know, $500 or $1,000 or however much money you just spent on your solo ad, and that's it. All right, so that's it for me today. I'm going to, you know, end my rant right now. I hope you got some value from that today. Let me know what you thought. You know, does that, you know, do you resonate with that, right? Does that make sense? Has this happened to you before, right? Have you bought a solo ad and then, you know, you're thinking like, I don't know what's going on, but you keep buying because that's what, you know, that's all people keep talking about. And it's to be honest, it's really easy, right? It's kind of easy to fall into that trap as well. You're just kind of lazy, so you just buy solo ads, right, and hope for the best. You know, has that happened to you before? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you thought of this video. Let me know if you got any value from this. And yeah, please subscribe to my channel if you want to get more rants like this. And let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you know if you like this video. And I hope to speak to you soon. Take care.